You don't fail because you lack talent. You fail because your days drift without standards. There is a quiet frustration that comes from knowing you could live with more discipline, more clarity, more self-respect, yet allowing each day to slip by in small compromises. Not dramatic mistakes, just subtle ones. Skipping what matters, reacting instead of choosing, letting moods decide what your values should have decided. The Stoics understood something modern culture ignores. Excellence is not an event you rise to when you feel inspired. It is a practice you return to when you don't. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire while reminding himself every morning that greatness is built through ordinary actions done with intention. This video is not about motivation. Motivation fades. This is about mastering the art of daily excellence. Building a way of living where your actions align with your principles day after day. Because when your standards are clear, life has fewer ways to pull you off course. 1. Excellence starts with standards, not feelings. Excellence does not begin with motivation. It begins with a line you refuse to cross. Feelings are unstable by nature. They rise and fall with sleep, stress, praise, rejection, and comfort. If your actions depend on how you feel, your performance will never be consistent. Some days you will show up strong. Other days you will negotiate with yourself, delay what matters, and call it rest. Over time, that quiet negotiation becomes a habit, and habits shape identity. The Stoics rejected this way of living. They did not ask themselves how they felt before acting. They asked who they were committed to becoming. Marcus Aurelius did not wake up waiting to feel ready. He reminded himself of the standard required of a rational, disciplined human being, and then acted accordingly. Not because it was easy, because it was right. Standards remove decision fatigue. When your standards are clear, there is nothing to debate. You do the work, you keep your word, you act with restraint. You don't need to argue with your emotions because your values have already decided for you. This is why disciplined people appear calm. They are not calmer by nature. They simply stopped renegotiating their principles. Modern life teaches the opposite. It encourages flexibility without foundation. It tells you to listen to every feeling, honor every impulse, and treat discomfort as a warning sign. Stoicism treats discomfort as information, not a command. You can feel resistance and still act with excellence. You can feel tired and still keep your standard intact. Daily excellence is built when you choose identity over emotion. When you decide in advance what kind of person you are regardless of circumstances. The person who trains even when progress is slow. The person who speaks truthfully even when silence would be easier. The person who finishes what they start even when no one is watching. This is not rigidity. It is self-respect. Without standards, discipline collapses into mood management. With standards, discipline becomes automatic. You stop asking whether you feel like doing the work. You ask only whether the action aligns with who you are. That shift changes everything. Your days stop feeling chaotic. Your confidence becomes quieter but stronger. And excellence stops being something you chase and becomes something you practice. Because the moment you stop negotiating with feelings, your standards take control. And when standards lead, excellence follows. 2. Win the morning, win the mind. The first hour of your day is not neutral. It quietly sets the direction for everything that follows. When the day begins in reaction, the mind stays reactive. Messages, notifications, unfinished thoughts from yesterday. They rush in before you have chosen who you will be today. Without noticing, you hand over control of your attention. And attention is power. Whatever controls it begins to shape your behavior, your emotions, and eventually your character. Stoics treated the morning as a strategic position. Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself before engaging with the world, not after it had already overwhelmed him. He understood that once the mind is scattered, discipline becomes harder. Clarity must come first. Intention must come before interaction. Winning the morning does not require intensity, it requires restraint. Restraint from noise, restraint from unnecessary input, restraint from letting the outside world decide your internal state. A Stoic morning is quiet by design. It creates space between stimulus and response. In that space, you reclaim authorship over the day. You remind yourself what is within your control and what is not. You define the kind of behavior you will practice, regardless of what the day brings. This is why daily excellence is impossible without a deliberate start. Not because mornings are magical, but because they are foundational. If you begin the day scattered, you spend the rest of it trying to recover. If you begin centered, pressure feels manageable instead of chaotic. Modern culture treats mornings as a rush. Stoicism treats them as preparation. Preparation to meet difficulty without surprise. Preparation to face people without resentment. Preparation to work without emotional resistance. You don't need a complex routine. You need a consistent one. A few minutes of silence, a moment of reflection, a clear intention for how you will act when challenged. This is not about productivity hacks. It is about mental positioning. When you win the morning, you don't feel rushed even when the day becomes busy. You don't feel lost when plans change. You don't feel reactive when someone provokes you. The mind already knows its role. It has been briefed. Excellence later in the day is decided before the day begins. This is why disciplined people appear unbothered by chaos. They did not wait for calm to arrive. They built it quietly, early, and deliberately. While others were reaching for stimulation, they were choosing direction. If you want daily excellence, don't aim to control the entire day. Control the beginning of it. That is enough. Because when the morning belongs to you, the mind follows, and when the mind is steady, excellence becomes possible. Not occasionally, but consistently. 3. Emotional discipline. Is daily excellence. Excellence is not the absence of emotion, it is the ability to act without being ruled by it. Most mistakes are not caused by lack of intelligence or skill. They come from unexamined reactions. A sharp comment triggers anger. A delay creates frustration. A small setback turns into self-doubt. In those moments, people abandon their standards without realizing it. Not because the situation demanded it, but because emotion took the wheel. The Stoics trained for this exact problem. Epictetus made it clear that events themselves are neutral. What disturbs us is the meaning we assign to them. Between what happens and how you respond, there is a space. That space is where excellence lives. If you rush past it, emotion decides for you. If you pause inside it, reason can lead. Emotional discipline does not mean suppression. Suppression creates pressure that eventually explodes. Discipline means observation without obedience. You notice the emotion. You name it. You refuse to let it dictate your behavior. This is why Stoic calm looks effortless from the outside. It is not effortless. It is practiced. Daily excellence is built in ordinary emotional moments. When someone interrupts you and you choose composure instead of defensiveness. When progress is slower than expected and you choose patience instead of quitting. When recognition doesn't come and you choose self-respect over resentment. These moments seem small, but they compound. Modern culture rewards emotional expression. Stoicism rewards emotional mastery. Not because feelings are wrong, but because untrained feelings create unstable lives. A person who cannot regulate their reactions cannot sustain excellence. Their energy leaks through anger, envy, impatience, and regret. The Stoic approach is simple, but demanding. Pause before responding. Breathe long enough to regain clarity. Choose the action that aligns with your values, not your impulse. This sequence is easy to understand, and difficult to execute. That difficulty is the training. Emotional discipline turns chaos into feedback. Instead of asking why this is happening to you, you ask how a disciplined person would respond. That shift changes your identity. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and start seeing yourself as a steward of behavior. This is why excellence becomes quieter over time. You no longer need emotional highs to feel effective. You don't need to win every interaction. You don't need to prove anything in the moment. You're more interested in consistency than release. When emotions lose the power to command you, your actions become steady. When your actions are steady, your confidence deepens. And when confidence comes from self-control instead of validation, it cannot be taken from you. Daily excellence is emotional mastery practiced in small, invisible moments. Not once, not dramatically, but again and again until discipline becomes natural and reaction loses its grip. 4. Do the ordinary things. With precision, greatness rarely announces itself. Most of the time, it hides inside repetition. There is a temptation to believe that excellence comes from big moments, bold decisions, intense effort, dramatic breakthroughs. In reality, those moments are built on something far less exciting. Small actions performed carefully, simple tasks done without shortcuts, ordinary responsibilities handled with attention instead of impatience. The Stoics respected this deeply. They did not separate philosophy from daily behavior. How you spoke, how you worked, how you treated inconvenience, these were not minor details. They were the training ground of character. To act carelessly in small things was to invite disorder into larger ones. Precision is what turns the ordinary into the exceptional. It means doing the task fully instead of quickly. It means finishing what you start instead of chasing novelty. It means honoring the process even when no one is watching and no reward is immediate. This is where most people drift, not because they are incapable, but because boredom weakens their standards. Boredom is not the enemy of excellence. Impatience is. Modern life conditions you to crave stimulation, faster results, constant feedback, visible progress. Stoicism teaches the opposite skill, the ability to remain focused without external reward, to repeat the same disciplined action even when it feels dull, to trust that mastery grows quietly before it shows itself publicly. Think about any craft that demands respect: writing, training, building a business, strengthening a body. None of these improve through excitement. They improve through precision applied over time. The Stoic understands this and stops searching for motivation. They build a system that rewards correctness, not excitement. Daily excellence depends on how you handle the routine. Do you rush it or refine it? Do you resent repetition or use it to sharpen your focus? Do you treat small tasks as obstacles or as opportunities to practice self-command? Precision also protects your energy. When actions are sloppy, they require correction. When standards are loose, mistakes multiply. When attention is divided, effort is wasted. But when you act with care, you conserve mental strength. You finish the day less drained, not more. This is why disciplined people often appear unhurried. They are not slower, they are deliberate. They understand that speed without accuracy creates chaos, while precision creates momentum. Excellence becomes sustainable when you stop waiting for inspiration and start honoring the work itself. You don't need the day to feel important. You need to treat the work as important. That shift removes resistance. The ordinary day is not something to escape. It is the environment where excellence is forged. Each repetition is a chance to reinforce who you are becoming. Each small task is a vote for the kind of character you are building. When you do ordinary things with precision, confidence grows quietly, not from praise, not from results, but from the knowledge that you are doing what should be done, the right way, even when it feels uneventful. That is how excellence becomes stable. That is how progress becomes inevitable. 5. Measure effort, not results. Results are attractive because they are visible. Effort is quieter, slower, and easier to ignore, yet only one of them is fully within your control. The Stoics were clear about this distinction. You are responsible for your actions, not for how the world responds to them. When you tie your sense of worth to outcomes, you give external forces the power to disturb your peace. Praise can inflate you. Failure can crush you. Progress becomes emotional instead of rational. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that his duty was to do the work of a human being, to act with reason, integrity, and commitment. He did not measure his day by applause or immediate success. He measured it by whether he acted in accordance with his principles. This is what gave him stability in unpredictable conditions. Daily excellence requires the same mindset. Outcomes fluctuate. Effort compounds. When you focus on effort, consistency replaces anxiety. You show up even when the result is uncertain. You practice even when improvement feels invisible. You continue even when recognition does not arrive. This is not passive acceptance. It is active responsibility. Modern culture trains people to obsess over metrics they cannot fully control. Likes, rankings, short-term gains. Stoicism redirects attention to what can be governed directly. Preparation, focus, and follow through. When effort becomes the metric, behavior stabilizes. When behavior stabilizes, results eventually follow. This approach also protects you from burnout. Chasing results creates pressure without relief. Measuring effort creates progress without panic. You stop demanding guarantees from the future and start investing properly in the present. Effort-based living sharpens judgment. You learn to ask better questions. Did I act with discipline today? Did I stay focused when distraction appeared? Did I choose the harder right over the easier wrong? These questions build clarity instead of self-criticism. Over time, something important happens. Your confidence detaches from outcomes. You no longer need success to feel grounded. You feel grounded because you trust your process. That trust is earned through repetition, not affirmation. Daily excellence thrives in this environment. You don't rush improvement. You don't panic during setbacks. You adjust, refine, and continue. Effort gives you something to stand on, even when circumstances shift. Results will always arrive late. Effort is always available now. When you measure effort instead of results, you regain control. Control over your standards, control over your reactions, control over the one thing that truly defines your character, how you act when nothing is guaranteed. That is the Stoic advantage, not certainty, but steadiness. 6. Voluntary discomfort sharpens. Excellence. Comfort feels harmless, but over time it dulls discipline. The Stoics understood that a life built entirely around ease produces fragility. When everything is optimized for comfort, even minor hardship feels unbearable. This is why they practiced voluntary discomfort, not as punishment, but as preparation. By choosing difficulty in controlled ways, they trained their minds to remain steady when real challenges arrived. Voluntary discomfort strengthens self-command. It teaches you that discomfort is not a signal to stop, but a sensation to observe. Cold, fatigue, hunger, resistance, awkward conversations. These experiences lose their power when you meet them deliberately. You discover that you are capable of far more than your impulses suggest. Seneca wrote about sleeping on the floor and eating simple food to remind himself that what he feared was not actually unbearable. The lesson was not about deprivation, it was about freedom. When comfort stops being a requirement, fear loses leverage. Daily excellence grows through this same principle. You train even when energy is low. You speak honestly when silence would be easier. You hold the line on your standards when compromise would feel convenient. These are not extreme acts. They are quiet exercises in resilience. Modern life avoids discomfort at all costs. Stoicism uses it as a tool. Each voluntary challenge builds trust in yourself. Not confidence based on mood, but confidence based on evidence. You know you can endure. You know you can choose discipline over relief. That knowledge cannot be taken away by circumstance. Discomfort also refines focus. When you stop running from difficulty, distractions lose their appeal. You become less reactive and more intentional. The mind sharpens because it is no longer constantly seeking escape. This is why excellence becomes durable through discomfort. Comfort creates dependency. Discomfort creates capability. You don't need extreme hardship to grow stronger. You need consistency. Small daily acts that remind you that comfort is optional and discipline is chosen. Over time, this rewires your relationship with effort. The goal is not to suffer. The goal is to remove fear from discomfort. When discomfort stops intimidating you, excuses lose their power. When excuses disappear, action becomes simpler. And when action becomes simpler, excellence becomes a natural outcome of how you live. This is how Stoics trained themselves to remain unshaken, not by avoiding hardship, but by meeting it on their own terms, daily, quietly, and with intention. 7. End the day. Like a Stoic, excellence is not secured in the morning and forgotten at night. It must be closed deliberately. Most people end their days in distraction. They collapse into stimulation, scroll until fatigue takes over, and let the day dissolve without meaning. What was done well is forgotten. What was done poorly is ignored. The mind is never given the chance to integrate experience into wisdom. Days pass, but nothing is learned from them. The Stoics refused to live this way. They understood that reflection is what turns action into progress. Seneca described the habit of reviewing the day as a form of moral accounting, not to shame oneself, not to indulge regret, but to refine character. The day was treated as training, and training was useless without review. Ending the day like a Stoic means reclaiming authority over your development. When the noise fades, you face yourself honestly, not with emotion, but with clarity. You examine how you acted when tested, where discipline held, where it slipped, where emotion interfered, where standards were upheld without recognition. This is not about perfection. It is about alignment. Without reflection, mistakes repeat quietly. With reflection, they lose their power. Daily excellence depends on this closing ritual because it anchors identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who is merely busy. You begin to see yourself as someone who is deliberately shaping behavior. The question is no longer, did I feel productive? It becomes, did I act according to my values? This shift changes how you experience time. Each day becomes a unit of practice, not just something to survive. The Stoic evening review is simple but demanding. You revisit the day without distortion. You do not excuse weakness, and you do not exaggerate success. You observe, you correct, you recommit. This process builds trust with yourself because you are no longer avoiding truth. Over time, this creates a powerful internal signal. You begin to act differently during the day because you know you will face yourself at night. Not harshly, honestly. That expectation alone sharpens behavior. You pause before reacting. You hold the line when tempted to compromise. You choose restraint because you know you will account for it later. Modern culture avoids this kind of self-confrontation. It encourages constant distraction to prevent discomfort. Stoicism does the opposite. It uses quiet to strengthen integrity. Ending the day with reflection also dissolves unnecessary guilt. When you review rationally, emotions lose their exaggeration. A mistake becomes feedback, not an identity. A success becomes confirmation, not arrogance. You learn to correct without self-attack. This practice restores proportion. You realize that one imperfect moment does not define you, but repeated, unexamined moments will. Reflection breaks that pattern. Daily excellence is sustained when you close each day consciously, not by judging yourself against unrealistic ideals, but by measuring yourself against your own standards. Did you act with discipline when challenged? Did you speak with restraint when provoked? Did you keep your word when no one was watching? These questions matter because they shape tomorrow. The end of the day is where intention becomes continuity. You extract meaning from effort. You clarify direction. You remove emotional residue so it does not carry into the next morning. This is why Stoics slept with clearer minds. They did not drag unresolved reactions into the future. When reflection becomes a habit, confidence deepens. Not the loud kind. The quiet certainty that comes from knowing you are paying attention to your life. You are not drifting, you are steering. This is how excellence compounds invisibly. Not through dramatic breakthroughs, but through daily course correction. Small adjustments, made consistently, prevent large deviations over time. Ending the day like a Stoic also restores peace. When you know you have examined your actions honestly, there's nothing left to ruminate on. The mind rests because it has been heard. You are no longer running from yourself. This is why Stoic excellence feels calm rather than anxious. It is built on awareness, not pressure. The day ends, but the practice continues. Tomorrow does not need to be perfect. It needs to be intentional, and intention is strengthened every night you take responsibility for who you were today. This is the final discipline of daily excellence. Not ambition, not intensity, but reflection, steady, honest, and uncompromising. When you close the day with clarity, you begin the next one with strength. Daily excellence is not a destination you arrive at one day and then keep forever. It is a discipline you renew quietly, every morning and every night. Stoicism never promised an easy life. It promised something far more valuable. Stability in the middle of difficulty, the ability to act with clarity when emotions rise, the ability to keep standards when comfort tempts you to lower them, the ability to remain steady when outcomes are uncertain. Throughout this journey, one truth becomes clear. Excellence is not built in extraordinary moments. It is built in ordinary ones, in how you begin the day, in how you respond under pressure, in how you treat repetition, in how you measure effort, in how you face discomfort, and finally, in how you reflect when the day is done. This is why Stoic excellence feels different from modern success culture. It is quieter, less performative, less dependent on validation. You stop chasing motivation and start building character. You stop reacting to life and start directing it. When your standards are clear, decisions become simpler. When your emotions are disciplined, your actions become consistent. When your effort is honest, outcomes lose their power to shake you. And when reflection becomes a habit, growth becomes inevitable. The world will always be noisy, demanding, unpredictable. Stoicism does not remove those forces. It trains you to meet them without losing yourself, to move through life with restraint, precision, and self-respect. Daily excellence is not about becoming someone else. It is about becoming reliable to yourself. Reliable in how you show up, reliable in how you act under pressure, reliable in how you correct your course without drama or self-deception. That reliability builds quiet confidence, not the kind that needs attention, but the kind that cannot be taken away. You do not need to change everything at once. You need to practice one day well, then another, then another. Excellence compounds when discipline becomes ordinary. So as you move forward, don't ask whether you feel ready. Ask whether your actions reflect who you choose to be. That question, asked consistently, reshapes a life. Stoic excellence is not loud. It does not rush. It does not beg for recognition. It endures. And when excellence becomes your daily practice, calm, deliberate, and uncompromising, life has fewer ways to pull you off course.